Does your car look and feel tired and worn out? Well, if so, stick around because today on Rusting Reef's Garage, this Mazda's getting some simple fixes to help it feel brand new again. Alright, well, as I mentioned in the intro, this is my 2010 Mazda 3, and I'm wanting to do a few things just to help fix it up and help it feel like a new car again. And one of those things I'm going to start with is here on the outside, and that is the window belt molding that runs here along the bottom side of the window. I don't know if you can see it real well, but mine's all chipped up and broken and cracked and just looks really bad. So I'm going to go through and replace this. I've got all four belt moldings, and I could not find them online anywhere to save my life. So I ended up ordering these directly from a Mazda dealership here in my area. So I will put all the part numbers below. Unfortunately, I won't link them to anywhere to purchase them, but I'll at least give you the part numbers so you can see, look them up and see if they'll fit for your vehicle. But even if you're not doing it on a Mazda, they're all relatively the same. Let me open one up here and I'll show you kind of what we're looking at and how they go together. All right, so with the belt moldings, I'm going to do the right front. So right front, this is the right from when you're sitting in the driver's seat. First thing I'm going to do is just hold it up and make sure it fits to the window. And it looks like it does. One of the things you might notice is right down here, the belt molding actually goes underneath the housing for the side view mirror. So I can tell by looking at the new one that this back side has one clip on it, which would be right back here. But there are no other clips, which tells me we're just going to pop open that one clip, lift it up, and slide this back to remove it. So that's how we're going to get the old one off. To open them with the tab, there's a little spot here in the back, so I'm hoping I can just get a screwdriver back there and pop that off. But I do want to be careful that I don't break anything. I'm just going to get an idea where it lives here. And there it goes. I'm going to clean this off, but again, you can tell by looking, so you can see how jagged and rough this front area is. It looked really bad, even though the rubber's in good shape. I mean, the rubber seems fine. That front tab is so broken, it just looked really cheap and awful. And I really wanted to replace it so this could look a lot better. But I am going to get something and just kind of wipe this down before we put the new part on. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so for this new piece, you see I'll be lining up the tab, but I want to slide it in first. There we go. All right, so with that slid in, you can see that looks a lot better. So let's go back and do the back one next. All right, this one's going to be a little interesting or a little different because it has two clips on it, one here at the rear and one towards the front. So I'm going to take a look to see about where those are. So again, I can mark for where to go to try and do those clips. So let me start with the back first, and it's about right here. And you can kind of feel it a little bit too. Oop. All right, and once again, I'm going to kind of come in and just spray down and clean this mess up a little here. And we'll take our new one and we'll kind of get it started here. You can kind of feel it pressure fit onto the lip there. And then of course the clips snap in, but all right. So far this is going really fast, and I don't have a lot of room on the other side, but I'm going to take you around to the other side so you can see what I'm doing there too. All right, well, I just wanted to kind of show you an up close, but if you look, I mean, look how much nicer that looks. I mean, my gosh, beforehand, I mean, this whole bit here was just all chipped up, so gross looking. I don't know what was going on with it. In fact, we can compare how they looked. Look how chipped up and just kind of ratty these things looked. Look at that. Now compare that here to the new one. See how much nicer that is? I think that really helps to improve the overall look of the outside of the vehicle. Helps keep it looking clean and new. All right, so the second thing we're going to do with the car is back here with the trunk. You'll notice I flipped the car around. I backed it into the garage just to make this a little easier. But I want to start back here with the trunk, and let me show you why. When you go to lift it, it won't stay up. It just drops. All right, so this trunk is a little iffy to open and doesn't always want to stay back and upright. But here are the lift supports. And these are the main culprit. They're starting to go bad as to why the trunk lid doesn't stay up all that well. And I'll kind of zoom you in here. You can see there's a residue down here where the struts have been leaking. And that's one sign these are bad. Here on the other side I can show you. This side it's actually cracked. Sometimes this black plastic piece will be down, but you can see it's also leaking. So that's a quick, easy, and frankly it's a really cheap fix. So I bought some replacement Stabilus lift supports. It's the exact same brand that's currently on the car, but of course these ones are branded, if you can see that, with the Mazda logo, and the new ones do not have that. But really easy to replace, really simple to replace. And then let me just grab a screwdriver here and I'll show you. Normally, if you're going to do this, you would want to put a support under here just because this will be somewhat holding the lid up, but I don't think I need to, just because of this vehicle and the angle of the trunk. I don't think I need that, but there we go. Yeah, see, it's going to kind of stay up there on its own. But all I'm doing, there's these little clips on the back side. So when you see these, here on the back is these clips. I'm just putting a screwdriver in there and pulling it back. It's a little hard to see, but if you look in here, see this metal claw? That's just part of the strap here. So all we're doing is we're pulling that strap back. If you watch, see how it opens? So we're just pulling that strap back. You can see how it retracts that clip, allowing us to just pull it off these knobs here. So we'll do that with the new ones here. Gonna get it started. Make life a little easier. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the one on the other side. Oh yeah, it's a lot nicer, a lot smoother action. So simple, quick. And now let's move on to the third one. All right, well, the third thing I want to try and do is fix these front doors. These doors have a sort of empty, hollow sound when you close them really hard. My understanding is that's really common with this generation of Mazdas, at least the Mazda 3. Let me take off my microphone and hopefully you can hear what I mean. I'll try it one more time. I don't know how well the microphone picks it up, but there's sort of a dull thud or an empty, hollow drum sound when you close the door, especially when you close it hard enough. What the mechanics are behind it that cause it, I don't know exactly, but essentially what's happening is this outside panel buckles out and then it snaps back into place. And when it snaps back, it makes that additional kind of echoey drum noise. It's really kind of embarrassing when you get in and out of the vehicle. But let me open up the door, take off the inside panel, and I'm going to show you what my thoughts are for fixing it. Or at least hopefully fixing it. All right, this is all dark. It's going to be a little bit hard to see in this garage. But the first thing we want to do is take off this door panel. And there's a few things we need to do to access this door panel. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start just with a little pick and get this. Okay, just wanted to get that little cover off here. And I got a screw back there we'll take off. The next thing I take off is going to be this plate here and this plate here. This one actually is already kind of half coming up there, so. Alright, let me grab on the screwdriver. And back here, what we're going to do is just disconnect these two connections from the window switches. And there's 3 screws, one here, here, and down here that we're going to take off. And then we'll also need to take this part off as well, where the little tweeter speaker is here. The next thing we're going to do is access the speaker. So there's 4 screws holding on the speaker. I'm going to take those out, and I might have to unplug it as well. But that's going to allow us access back and behind here to do what I'm thinking about doing to try and see if it'll work. So let me get the speaker off, and I'll be right back. I think for safety, I'm just going to remove the speaker altogether here. Okay. All right, and that gives us access right in here. Trying to shine another light in here, but if you can see it, that metal support right there, that's what the skin of the door is snapping back and hitting. So that snaps back and then hits this support in there, and that's what causes that extra thud and echo. So to try and fix it, I'm going to use this, which is automotive sound deadening material. It's got a sticky back on it when you peel off the film. My thought is to cut this into a thin strip and then fish my arm back here to try and secure it up against that outside shell of the door. So let me find out about what size I need. I'm going to get this cut down, and then I'll bring you right back. All right, so it's a little hard. I kind of have to get my hand in here, pivot it around like a clock, and then I can reach back in there. But I got one strip in. There's actually on the lower side of that bar, I'm going to put another strip. So I'm going to cut another piece here. All right, so once I've got it kind of cut to fit, I'm just going to peel some of this back, and it's real messy because this is a butyl substance. I probably should have been wearing gloves, but it is what it is at this point. I'm going to peel some of this back just to reveal some of the stickiness and kind of get my arm up in there and fish this through here. Oh, that is not easy. It's a little hard to get in there. Kind of really have to wedge it in. There's an extra spot. Here I might just try adding a little bit more of this stuff. I got some scraps of the sound deadening, so I might just try and stick some of this stuff in there. Let me get up and let's try closing the door and see how it sounds. All right, now I don't know if you can tell much of a difference, but let me open and close it for you. So it sounds a little bit better. I don't know if it's a whole lot better, but it's a little bit better. It's still a little tinny, but we'll see. I'm going to go on ahead and knock out the other side, then we'll wrap things up. We managed to do the window belt molding, the lift supports for the trunk, and that sound deadening for the doors. All of which I think are great, except that sound deadening. To be honest, I don't think it did much of a difference at all, which is really unfortunate because it's kind of embarrassing when you get in and out of this car and it sounds like a tin can when you close the door. All right, well, thanks for watching this episode of Rust and Grease Garage. I really appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see in another video, and I'll catch you next time.